computers have long been found in university halls or military backrooms. But with transistor advancements, now you can get a microcomputer in your very own home. Introducing the Altair 8800. With its simple-to-use switch interface and easy-to-follow 98-page manual, you
can play the Oblivion remake! That's right, my friends, when we remove the classy beige back panel, we find that this bad boy has some serious junk in the trunk. What kind of junk? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the most banginest gaming PC that money can buy. That's right, in celebration of their 50th birthday, Microsoft sponsored us to build a sleeper PC that was reminiscent of the 70s. So we figured, well, what better place to start then than in 1975, the very beginning of Microsoft. But wait, we haven't built this yet, Adam.
I guess we'll have to go back in time.
Hey, this was when we recorded the WAN show in my garage. I guess a lot of cool things start in garages, but this is way too far back. Oh, and this was 10 years ago when we first moved into our studio. It's changed so much. We have so many cool people here, but I gotta stay focused. We gotta do this Microsoft-inspired sleeper build. Wait, why are we building a water-cooled computer in the kitchen?
Well, we're remodeling the shop right now, Linus. And it's not like Bill Gates had a whole fully stocked shop to build his computers, and he built a whole Microsoft.
Fair point. But if he's so smart, why couldn't he build a computer that's this much more powerful than what he had back then? In fact, I would say the sleeper machine that we're gonna install in here is more powerfuler than his Altair 8800, than current Bill Gates is richer than 1975 Bill Gates.
But like by percentage? Because he had like no money back then. He was building out of a garage.
The point is, Microsoft wants to show this sleeper build off at their event in 2 weeks, and we haven't even started building it.
Well, I guess we better go.
Let's go!
The Altair 8800 arrived in 1975 at an astonishingly low price of just $395 for an assembly kit. The low price, combined with a yet unrealized demand for affordable electronics for hobbyists, caused the Altair 8800 to fly off shelves. It was built on the 8-bit Intel 8080 microprocessor that ran at around 2 megahertz, and yes, that's thousands of times slower than a modern-day Intel processor, and it comes with a meager 256 bytes of RAM. Not even enough to hold the text of this paragraph that I'm reading to you now. Thankfully, it was built for expandability, which created a great amount of space for nerds to play. You might be wondering, what are all of these switches on the front? Well, this is the display, and also the keyboard. These switches allow you to manually enter your program bit by bit. You can register to a specific memory address, lock it in, save it, go to the next line. It sucks. It's awful. But the Altair's success, in spite of its janky nature, caught the attention of a young Paul Allen and Bill Gates, who were looking for the perfect device for their software company to start with.
Which is why they started working to make this basic interface into a basic interface. They reached out to MITS, the makers of the Altair, and organized a demonstration. Allen carried the precious code on a punched paper tape, but it was only during the flight that he realized they had forgotten to write a bootloader program. The small piece of code needed to load BASIC from the tape into the Altair's memory. Allen furiously programmed the bootloader in machine code while on the flight, and only found out the program even functioned during the live demonstration in front of the MITS team. But that was then, and this is now. One quick note before any of you lose your flipping minds. We are not desecrating an actual Altair 8800. This is an Altair Arduino 3.0, which is basically a look-alike chassis with an Arduino in it that emulates the original functions of the Altair 8800, making it the perfect platform for our build today because it's already basically empty. We've made some modifications. For starters, we've added mounting points all over the motherboard tray that are going to allow us to put modern components in here. And for another, we actually needed a little bit more space, so we moved the back panel back about 1 centimeter. And as you're going to see, every centimeter is going to count for this build.
The goal, though, was to make sure that it appeared basically no different from the original. Oh, I said basic. And the only real changes we made were some pass-throughs for power at the back, as well as some additional ventilation that you can barely tell is not original.
Oh yeah, wow, Justin did a great job of that.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Drilled it.
CNC'd it.
Show me the games.
Well, First, you'll have to learn how to use it. There's the 90-page manual, filled with everything you could want to know, including the absolute fundamentals of computing. Thankfully, to help teach us the very basics, they've installed a game called Kill the Bit. To do that, we set our first bit to 1. Now, we press auxiliary 1 down. You're trying to catch this bit by flipping your switch up really quickly. Dang.
Did I miss?
You missed. Now you have 2 of them because you keep missing. There you go. We got 1 more to get.
How did that teach me anything?
Well, now you know that you can use the switches.
We're starting with the safe choice. We've gone with AMD's Ryzen 9800X 3D. It's got 8 cores, 3D V-cache. It's basically as fast as it gets for a flippin' computer CPU these days. I'm loving this motherboard too. It's tiny. Look how little space it takes up in here. And look at this I/O. HDMI, USB, Wi-Fi, and all of that. Only one small problem. How are we plugging any of this in?
Don't worry, we have something for that.
Are these standoffs into nuts?
Yeah, something to note, all of the holes we punch in the case we'll have to use nuts for.
What kind of nuts?
No.
Basic nuts.
For our RAM, we went with 32 gigabytes of G.Skill Splave memory that's running at 6,000 megatransfers per second at CL28.
Again, we wanted to be ready for anything, and I mean anything. Does this power button reach? Are we just gonna have to go right across the motherboard?
Did we put it in the right way?
I think so. This is the way it goes in, right?
I don't know if we changed it or not.
Oh God.
I think it is.
Okay, well then I'm plugging it in. There you go, now it's plugged in. As I mentioned before, this is going to be a hardline water-cooled build because we love pain, and we've gone with the AlphaCool Core CPU cooling block. It offers a combination of good performance and a low profile, which is going to get really important as we pack more stuff in here.
And speaking of low profile, look at our reservoir. This is
vintage.
Perhaps not as vintage as this, but pretty dang old. Is this like just acrylic?
Yep. Yeah, that's the SwiftTech MC Res Micro. I think SwiftTech still exists.
I hope they do. This little guy is perfect though, because it allows us to fit him in right here, basically making use of as much dead space as possible.
And what I like about the MC Res Micro is it's really easy to bleed the system with it. They've got this nice little baffle thing in here that prevents the inlet from just dumping air bubbles straight into the outlet. Are we gonna bother hooking up any of the RGB?
Eventually, yes. Today, Justin's saying no.
Yeah, I mean, why bother?
He's probably the guy who's gonna have to do it.
It doesn't have a window. Like, can I just rip this lead off?
But it's no.
Yeah, let's cut
But then it's not very sleepery. Why are you cutting it? That's unnecessary. What if that isn't the RGB?
Our sleeper's going to sleep. Shh, shh.
Well, do you know what didn't have any RGB to begin with? This water block that we've placed on our Astral 5090. This is the very same one that we put in the Splave PC.
This looks and feels incredible.
It's heavy. That block is a Bits Power Nebula.
And we're gonna mount it on this special angled mount that Justin created that's gonna support the GPU in this position. And I'll show you why that's important in a little bit. Okay, wanna throw one of those on one of those? Hold on, we gotta coordinate which one. Here, can we do this one first?
Yeah, oh, that guy.
Okay, I'm gonna screw from the front and you nut it from the back. Now seems like a good time to explain why we needed to do this. It's because back when the Altair 8800 came out, you didn't even need to put a cooler on your flippin' processor. It just dissipated the heat. Nowadays, we need lots of cooling, and even with a 240 millimeter radiator in the back that we had to kind of jerry-rig a mount for, we felt that we were gonna need as much radiator as we could get, so we devised a plan to put another slim radiator up here in the top. Even then, I really don't know if this is gonna be enough for a 5090.
It'll be fine. It'll be hot, but it'll be fine.
Are you starting to see why we were worried about space? Wait, did we put the SSD on the motherboard?
I did that, don't worry, I got you.
What was it?
Crucial P5.
Nice.
This is SSD.
So just whatever we could throw in here, and because Microsoft is probably keeping this, so. What are these fans? Are these heights?
Yeah, they're the height thick.
That's what they're called?
Yeah, the thick FB12s. They're 30 millimeter fans instead of 25 millimeter fans.
Oh, okay.
So they have crazy static pressure.
And we're gonna need it, because we got a dense ass radiator here in order to have any chance of having enough surface area to dissipate all this heat.
Did you know that THIC is a backronym? Technology Harnessing Innovative Chonk for Cooling. Not even, that's on the box.
Do you want to throw the fittings on the reservoir?
Yeah, I just don't know which fittings to go in with.
Cool.
I'm assuming we need, this one is gonna go to a T, so we can fill it. This one's gonna go to the CPU, and then one's gonna go here, so this one will be straight.
No, we want it going in the top.
It's going in the top from the GPU?
No, one of those bottom ones is gonna need a stopper. How come you have that on a right angle?
Because I wasn't sure, man.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna put it back to straight.
Cool.
Because you yelled at me.
Like that? No, I'm not yelling at you.
Stop.
I'm not yelling
Stop.
at. Do you happen to know which? Never mind. Doesn't matter. You don't know anything.
What? What do you mean? You know what? I know a lot. In fact, I know that in 1988, Microsoft released.
No, not another one of those right now. I meant you don't know which screws go for what.
Yeah, but Justin does.
I feel like a lot of stuff's not going to make it into the YouTube cut. lmg.gg/floatplane for the extras.
Thanks, Dad. I mean, Linus. I mean, Dad. I mean, thanks.
I don't prefer dad.
You prefer sir.
How is this spreading? Are you trying to be helpful? Or no?
No.
Not so much. Okay.
That's okay, man. I'll help you.
Thanks. He's nuts.
Fuck you, Linus.
Wait, okay. Now I have to, okay, don't ruin the take.
It's okay, no, we're just be loaded in.
No,
We just cut.
I want to get the video done. I put our power supply in. It's an 850 watt SFX L unit from ASUS.
Loki.
That should be perfect for just barely powering this ridiculous GPU.
It's gonna be redlining, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, it's enough's enough.
Microsoft's not going to open this, right?
Actually, it's supposed to be interacted with at the.
What do you mean interacted with?
Like it's gonna be like at the build conference.
Right, but they're not going to open it.
Yeah.
Well, why would they open it?
Because it's to show it, because it's a sleep build.
Okay.
If they weren't gonna open it, Linus, why wouldn't we just throw in like a freaking Mac Mini? They'd never work with us again, but it would be very funny. It's great for AI. I don't know what you want, Microsoft.
Cable manage that bad boy. Oh, man. Before we have to wire anything up, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we're gonna have to like get all this crap in here somehow.
I think the nice thing is that it's gonna sit like pretty close to here, and because this like strong magnetic fan hub, we're just gonna slip it around there, and no one will be none the wiser.
This does mean that we're gonna have to have a couple runs that are soft tubing though, so that we can actually get the top off after the fact. So should we start doing some runs here?
I think we gotta.
Yeah.
We gotta.
Do you wanna get the runs?
Yeah, with you, anything. Well, we still have a lot to do, and we gotta go back to labs to do it, so I think it's time for a montage. Montage over.
Wow. Dang, this is awesome. I think this might work. Let's go through some of the things that we did in the montage. I'll start with the good news. We thought that any style points we gained for our hardline tubing runs were gonna be canceled out by our flopsy-doodly softline runs to our 40mm radiator. But then, a happy accident. It turns out that the lid of the machine is magnetic, so all we had to do is chuck one of our power brick holders from our magnetic cable management solutions line on there, and check this out, guys.
Trust us, it's magnetic.
You see it's on there? Huh? Huh? That's freaking awesome! So then we just put it on there, slide that bad boy on, and she's good to go. And then when we want to remove it, you just pull it off. Damn, I love magnets.
They're great.
I just don't know how they work.
Well,
man, what else can we really say about this other than that it came together freaking awesome and it's running Oblivion Remastered right now. Do you have any thermals for me? You want to fire up FrameView? These Noctua fans are moving more air through this thing than I expected.
we had really low expectations, and they're doing a pretty good job. And they even do a pretty good job through the side panel, which we were also worried about because it doesn't have the best cutout to cut in ratio.
Yeah.
It's running fine, enough.
But we also haven't tried a full load scenario with the top panel on yet. So, do you think she can handle it?
I'm gonna believe in her, okay?
Yeah, okay.
That's the most important thing.
You know what they say, you gotta have faith. Yeah, you gotta have faith.
They do say that.
Oh, we're leaking. We're leaking.
We're
What
leaking?
happened?
Yep, right here.
Whoa, buddy.
Yoink.
Okay, well that was exciting. Where did it come from?
It was coming right out that corner right here.
Oh, neat. Glass half full or water tube half full. We didn't leak on anything important.
Just the GPU.
Yeah, but it was on
And the Arduino that,
Delrin. Oh yeah, no, it might have got on there. Okay, one moment please. This is not a 90-degree swivel fitting, you guys. Or it swivels on this side, but not this side.
This is a kind of a weird caveat that only happens when you have a mishmash of a bajillion different water cooling parts. When you're like, yeah, this is a swivel fitting, right? It looks like the other one. It's very slightly different.
Okay, we're good to go. Let's fire it back up. It won't leak again. Microsoft's not gonna watch this video, are they? All right, what are the odds this does not leak this time?
We should turn it on while it's open.
Nah, I feel good.
Oh God.
Happy beep.
See, no leak. No,
Immediately.
no.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Dude, this is like the stealthiest of sleepers. It's not quiet, it's not loud.
You wouldn't really expect it though. I feel like, well, maybe this was probably relatively silent back in the day, because I don't think that there was any sort of real ventilation. I think there was room for one case fan, but components didn't run at such a high power draw. They needed so much cooling. But basically everything that made this successful was due to its accessibility and price and the ability for hobbyists to expand it. Because even Microsoft's first product, Altair Basic, required a little bit of extra RAM, more than what this had.
Our CPU is settling in around 70 degrees and our GPU isn't clearing 50.
Hell yeah.
The cooling solution worked. We could overwhelm it if we were to run a power virus on both of these parts at the same time, for instance. We would just run out of available exhaust vents. But for gaming, shockingly, this ended up working. We are getting the full Altair 8800 experience, plus the full performance experience of a modern, top-of-the-line gaming desktop, all packed into one machine. Now look, I know that no 70s era sleeper build would be complete without an old school monitor and desk setup, but we don't have those. But Microsoft does, and you'll be able to interact with this exact PC yourself in person at Microsoft's Build Conference in Seattle from May 19th to May 22nd. You'll be able to use the Altair Duino 3.0 and experience the challenges of programming 50 years ago. And then for fun, you can switch to the challenges of developing in 2025. But hey, at least you've got GitHub and Copilot and Visual Studio, right? Right. If you guys enjoyed this video, massive shout out to Microsoft for both the inspiration and the sponsorship that made it possible. If you guys enjoyed these kinds of sleeper builds, maybe you'll like this one. We used to do these all the time and like, man, I want to get back to it now. This is great. This thing is so cool. Well, not so cool, but adequately cool.